Hello, I'm that one frog, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. Might be the final episode. Might. I don't want to promise anything, but I mean, we're done with that. I don't think it is, because this is still, the second DLC, isn't it? Hold on. Let me look up real quick how many DLCs there are. Citizen Sleeper DLCs. There's three. It's not really DLCs, it's one DLC with episodes. But there's 3 episodes, and it seems like we're on episode 2. Though I feel like we're gonna be done with stuff soon, so I don't know. We might just be able to get it done in this episode, considering this is really the only thing we're doing. We'll find out, though. Let's do this. I did it. There's a loose crowd around the supplies you've unloaded, and a tense mood brewing among them. You sit nearby on the edge of the shuttle's docking tunnel resting. Further away, crews from Ember's Song continue their lives as usual, coming and going, trading, discussing. There's a quiet efficiency to the hub, set up as a common space with a swarm of small ships from Ember's Song that are part of the flotilla. Unlike Hearth or Steppe, there's no one capital ship for this moon's refugees, just a mass of individuals traveling in concert. We told Hearth we didn't want their scraps. The jeering voice comes out of the small crowd nearby. It looks like Peter. I don't think your name is Peter, but... So I won't call you Peter. Is it Petter? I'm just gonna call you Pete. I don't actually care. I'm gonna call you Peter. Alright, is that okay, Peter? Well, too bad. You turn to see a gaunt, pale man wearing the industrial work gear you have seen many of the Song refugees wearing. A jeering voice? I don't know what that means. You look kind of... You hear me? I don't know if that picks up on mic. You hear me? It does. These supplies are to help. He smirks. Oh, how noble of you. Coming out here to help us singers. That's a little better. I don't know if I like that voice. There's a rumble of anger around the crowd. We agreed to join the flotilla for joint protection. We did not agree to Ember's Hearth using the flotilla to secure their control of the moons. You realize Peter is addressing the crowd as much as he is addressing you. With the cordon down, our crews are more than able to acquire what is needed from the Eye, what is owed as restitution for keeping us restrained. He pats one of the crates you unloaded. What we need, we will take. Soul wants to cooperate, that is true. Soul is a farmer. Even the people of Song know that he was simply the sole survivor of Hearth's leadership. His authority means nothing. Peter looks around at the crowd. Hearth think they can buy us, but we remember the past. A rumble of agreement runs through the crowd. He smiles at them. Take the supplies if you wish, of course. We're not wasteful. Peter approaches you directly. The crowd tentatively moves forward, and by the time he reaches you, they are already dragging away crates and distributing the contents. I'm not one for shooting the messenger, Sleeper, says Peter as he approaches. But we cannot concede to Hearth here, not for a moment. No, I don't understand. I can see that. Peter sits beside you on the docking tunnel's lip. What was your plan, Sleeper? Unload the supplies and wait for someone to start throwing them back at you? He nods at the crowd rifling through the crates, because that's what was about to happen. I'm not sure. I don't know. Not sure about that. Peter shrugs. What do you think happened to the crew of this shuttle? He shakes his head. They were chased out of this place. So why do they hate Hearth? We, Peter says with emphasis, do not hate Hearth. We simply do not trust them. Do you know anything about Ember's Moon, Sleeper? Or were you planning to wander into this flotilla totally blind, an objective outsider offering help? He rolls his eyes. Educate me then. He smiles. It would be my pleasure. I'm going to assume you know the basics. The gas giant Ember has 7 moons. The three biggest are Ember's Step, Ember's Song, and Ember's Heart. Is it Hearth or Heart? What? I'm going to assume it's Hearth and that's a misspelling. He winks. We can cover the three sisters next session. Step was the first to be settled. A contract old Solheim gave to the terraformer Cybeal system. I'm going to say that's systems. When they first claimed the Helion system. That's way back when. Step was a testing ground. And like most testing grounds, it didn't turn out too well. A partial atmosphere slowly sloughing. Sloughing? What? Off each orbit. A dysfunctional ecosystem and whole load of dust-clogged settlers. The place is a miserable desert long past its best before date. So Cybeal moved to Hearth, where they redoubled their efforts. The subsurface ocean and some balmy tidal heating helped, allowing them to build a real atmosphere, a real habitable world. A fact that the typical Hearth colonist won't ever let you forget. Okay. That's another voice that strains. I love like two important characters right now that have voices that strain mine. Awesome. How did Cybeal achieve such a thing, you might wonder? Well, that's where we come in. It's that same old rule of surrogacy, the one humanity built our universe around. Peter claps a hand to his chest in mock pride. My moon, Ember's Song, is a sulfur-soaked rock covered in volcanoes, tidally heated by its inner orbit to sweltering temperatures. Exactly the kind of crucible you need to fuel a terraforming project. Okay. Energy, industry, fuel, Song provided the raw materials for Hearth. Peter grimaces, willingly or not. Yikes. And a crucible requires people to run it. Us singers born into a flaming pit and asked to stoke it so others might live in a paradise in the making. That's what we had to endure, until Solheim brought everything down. Peter rattles off this speech from memory, and you wonder how many times he's delivered it. No Solheim, no contract, no Cybeal, no Cybeal, meant 3 moons suddenly independent. Peter shakes his head. It was a war sleeper, sometimes hot, sometimes cold. And unsurprisingly, Hearth and Step came out of it better than us. Yet, Peter holds up a hand, they need a sleeper. Will always have. So we are the linchpin. We're the center around which the moons orbit, not swirling ember. We've resisted takeovers, sieges, and expansions, and now we'll resist this. Half the people on these ships think the flux was caused by Hearth, intentionally or otherwise. And I have to say, some cycles, I agree. So before you come here to hand out supplies like a good soldier, maybe educate yourself. What does that matter now? That's not the button I want to press. Peter shakes his head. Do you forgive crimes against yourself so easily, Sleeper? Did I? I mean, I kind of forgive Ankita, which wasn't really against me. I did not forgive Ethan. I still wanted nothing to do with him. I knew giving him the gun was a bad idea, and I did it anyway, goddammit. Would you return to the bosom of Essenarb if they sent someone to collect? No. Both times, no. Peter stares at the crowd. Don't presume to judge us. I want you to imagine what it's like to try to live on an airless volcanic rock when every system that sustains you starts shutting down. He spits and wipes his sleeve across his mouth. We abandoned nothing. Some stayed, some others left. We will reclaim Ember as soon as the flux fades or ends. We've weathered worse. The flotilla should be united. Have you been listening? Sorry, I don't know why it took so long. Peter's voice raises immediately. We don't want to be united, Sleeper. Being united by Hearth means living under them. I won't keep you from the docking axis, Sleeper. No one here has the authority for that. But watch yourself here. Try to remember that the Eye is just another in the long list of people who have tried to control us. I understand. Peter nods, then let it guide your actions. Peter sighs. Look, we are many and we have many needs. Ships come to this docking axis for repairs, for requisitions, for friendship. You can provide these as well as any singer. If you want to help, help in your own name, Sleeper. Not in that of Earth. Peter shakes his head. Carry that name here and you'll lose all trust. Be as we are, act in your own name alone. Peter puts a hand on your shoulder and stands. Damn. I hope I didn't just waste my time here, sleeper. And with that, he walks away, back to the shrinking crowd that is distributing the last of the supplies amongst the crews present. You watch them pass the food and water between them, no signs of conflict between the crews, just a careful distribution of resources. Peter chats with a few crews, each of them casting looks in your direction, ones that reveal little about the singer's intentions. You stand. It seems the tensions on the flotilla run much deeper than you expected. This is gonna suck. Oh, we did it. No. Well, kind of. Dip mine replacement? Oh, damn it. I need a whole ship mine? Are you serious? Oh, God. That is rough. That is... Jesus. I can't buy a whole ship mine somewhere, can I? Where else could I get a ship mine fragment, man? I can't buy them, can I? I can! What? Oh my god, I've been wasting my time. Alright, here's your ship mine core. You gonna talk to me again? Oh my god. I love doing your voice. As you cross the axis looking for a shuttle to take you back to the ruined cordon, you spot Pete. What? Oh! Okay, hold on, let me reread that. As you cross the axis, looking for a shuttle to take you back to the ruined cordon, you spot Peter standing at the edge of the central hub. Something about the way he's leaning against the rail, looking down across the axis and towards the blinking lights of the flotilla beyond, makes you pause. He's completely still, his head drooping low and his shoulders hunched high. I don't want to talk to him. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna leave him be. You watch for a moment more and then move off across the hub towards a promising looking shuttle dock. Peter didn't look like he wanted to be disturbed, but as you climb through the docking tunnel towards the departing ship, you can't help but glance back. You spot him there, still at the railing, so small in the cavernous chamber of the hub. He seems untouched by the motion around him, lost in memory or thought. You feel a cold shiver rising from the inside and slip out through the docking tunnel before it can touch you. Gotta keep moving. Yay, I didn't have to do his voice. There's more stuff I can do, though. Okay. These are both good for me because they're +2s. Reroll. Nice. Okay, so now I just have to have some dice. It's easy. That's simple stuff. Simple, easy stuff. End cycle. I gotta buy food for Memphis. I'm starving. Oh yeah, we have to talk to Pete. Okay. But after we do this, I did it. And I re-rolled and got a 6. Sleeper. Oh man, I gotta talk to you. Peter calls to you as you cross the axis. He's standing by the same railing you saw him at last time. He beckons you over. I've been hearing things. Good things? He gives you a sidelong look. Peter smiles. Mostly. He rubs his hands together nervously. You wait for him to speak. You know, on song, I was a teacher. He glances at you, anticipating a response. Really? Really? Are you sure? Peter sighs. Don't sound so surprised. Mechanical engineering. It's an essential subject on the moon where a single mechanical failure could mean the deaths of hundreds. He looks at the ground. The heat, the atmosphere, the radiation, all of it is hostile to us. My students knew this. Their work, their training was respected. As long as they were careful and respected song themselves, they could have the choice of colony placements. They were always in demand. Them and I was respected, surrounded by friends and colleagues, always able to call in favors and repay them like for like. He frowns. Song colonies are small, close-knit. We look after our own. When the flux events started hitting, colonies went dark overnight. We all knew what those kinds of failures meant. Like always, we lost more people than any of the other moons. He balls his hands into tight fists. Not a single one of my students left song. Our future was cut off, just like that. My future. My future. He flexes his hands. What am I out here? What use am I? Song is a fading memory, and the systems we built there are useless outside its orbit. How am I supposed to move on from here? He looks at you, eyes steely gray and glinting. Find someone to teach. Peter pauses, thinking. Don't teach me, though. You don't give up, do you, Sleeper? You just keep going. Peter shakes his head. You remind me of a student of mine, one who entered the program for one of the smaller colonies. They didn't have the advantages of some of the others, but they were stubborn as hell. By the end of the program, they were the most skilled of their peers. They didn't get the best assignment, maybe because they didn't spend much time making the kind of connections that would help you get there. But that didn't matter, because I knew they would make the best of anything they set themselves to do. Peter's smiling now, buoyed up a little by memory. Singers are stubborn, Sleeper. We aren't going to change easily. We won't forgive easily or take help easily, but we'll hold strong. You can count on us for that. Peter stands from the railing. When you see Soul again, you can tell him that. You can tell him how the crews of Ember's song operate. Tell him we will resist. If that means resisting Earth's imperialist ambitions, so be it. If it means resisting the flux, so be it. And if it means to, as you have, help others resist those same pressures, so be it. Peter smiles, and then tell him to leave us alone. He turns, his step lighter and heads off towards the center of the Axis hub. Sorry, that was awful. A little anticlimactic. I can talk to Soul now as well. Great. Alright, Peak. What do you got for me? Have you heard of can channel, Sleeper? Peak asks as soon as you enter the bay, as if you were in the middle of a conversation. There are heavy circles under their eyes, and you aren't sure if they've moved since you last visited. The console they're working at seems to have grown too. Wasn't it 6 cycles? Jesus, Peak! The console they're working at seems to have grown too, shattering their slight frame in a wealth of screens and wires. No, I don't. I'm gonna be honest. Peak turns to face you. Kiomani's active negation. The name of the effect used to transport trillions of tons of materials from the surrogate systems to the core. You might have heard of it in your physics classes. At XPR, they hammered the principles into us as kids. Can. Or K-A-N. Peak recites the definition as if in the classroom. A process of collapsing spatial causality along the Euclidean distance between 2 points of negating mass simultaneously at both ends of a geodesic curve. English, brainiac! Essentially, can channels allow for the near instantaneous transport of raw materials between systems. They require huge volumes of energy, of course, and decades of construction, but once a can channel is established, it opens up a system for infinite exploitation. The backbone of surrogacy is what XPR called them. Peak shakes their head. They might not be able to send anything more complex than a rock through them. Complex machines and people are, shall we say, reconfigured by the process. But for raw, molecularly pure materials, Peak flicks a hand. Whoosh. Where is this going? Peak pauses. What I was trying to find out was whether the Helion system, this system, ever had a can channel. Can channels are vastly expensive to build, to run. Not every surrogate system has one. Many use fraction drive ships to transport their materials to the nearest hub. But Solheim... Peak smiles. Oh god. Solheim spared no expense when they established this system. So there's a can channel? Yep. Peak's eyes light up. They shut it down before they collapsed. They couldn't run the sender-receiver station anymore, but it was there. It still is, as far as I can tell, closely orbiting our star. In fact, Peak grins, they've been building up to this. I'm sure it's still there because one of the issues with can channels are the massive waves of exotic energy they can produce when cycling up. The flux. Okay, got it. Exactly. Peak's face suddenly drops. Someone is starting up the channel. Oh, that's... Shoot. Do I want to know who or why? I don't think Peak knows the answers to either of these questions. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Why? Peak sucks in a breath. I don't know. They start counting off information on their fingers. They need a lot of resources to do it, and they need to have people from the core systems. But there's no real large-scale extraction in the Helion system anymore, so why would you go to the trouble? Bless you. Just to trigger the flux, maybe? Peak rubs their red eyes. Jesus, Peak, come on. You need some sleep. The flux, the wave the can effect produces, is a side effect. Problematic one, but it isn't a destructive force. If it was, the core systems would have never been able to use it. Okay. Then why are colonies collapsing because of it? Why is it chewing through systems, the kind of industrial system set up to function within the range of a once active can channel? Peak is getting frustrated. The moons of Ember have been terraforming since before the collapse. They would have had to deal with the flux, yet everything we have heard from the refugees says it brought down every system they had. Peak falls quiet, thinking it all through. Your mind drifts too, thinking of the can channels, those vast casual highways that prop up the core systems and their endless appetite for resources. This system has been quiet for decades. Solheim collapsed, most corporations gave up their claims, and apart from the Stellus ships that came to begin work on the side of the horizon, no one from the core has come here in all that time. You shiver as you imagine the attention of the core, the systems of logic and exploitation that created your suffering. Turning towards the Helion system, a floodlight turned to this dark corner. There's something on the camera, I think. Whatever. A shrill bleep catches both of your attention, and Peak rushes to a screen, one showing a crude map of the station. On it, individual markers begin to flare up with insistent chirps. Peak looks puzzled for a moment, and then their face drops. No. They lean in close. This doesn't make any sense. What's happening? The flux nodes are appearing elsewhere on the station. Peak pulls at their hair. I set this system to alert me to other flux nodes near the epicenter of the flux event, but these are everywhere. The hub, the low end, the shipyard. How can this happen? The only reason we saw flux nodes here is because it was the most rundown part of the station. We were barely shielded, but others appearing so far after the event. Peak turns to you. You're gonna need to get me the data from these nodes, and quickly. I'll keep looking at what I have here, but I need to know why they're popping up everywhere. Right now? Right now. We can talk more about can channels and system history when you're back, but this needs our attention right now. Peak turns quickly back to their monitor, their eyes following scrolling screens of code spewing from the newly fluxed nodes. You leave quickly, but struggle to shake the image of the spotlight from your mind. You feel washed as you cross back into the pilgrim seed, on your way to a shuttle bay. You hurry onward, eager to outrun the fear. But we're not going to be doing that. So we need 3 flux data. Interesting. We have 1 Yadigan data. We gotta talk to Sol now. Oh my god, so much talking. When you arrive at the bridge of the Pilgrim Seed, Sol is waiting for you. You wouldn't believe the messages that have come in the past few cycles, Sleeper. He smiles. The ship from Steppe has sent a goodwill gesture. Whole cache of supplies from their own farms. He smiles. Not sure how we'll use them, but the gesture's a welcome one. Song, meanwhile, are apparently accepting supplies again, although a little reticently, if I may say so. Sol smiles. I don't expect them to change anytime soon, it should be said. What I'm wondering, Sleeper, is what part are you at in all this? Sol eyes you, waiting for an answer. I helped where I could. I've come to expect that of you, Sleeper. He smiles. You look at Sol, his eyes bright and eager, and wonder what he sees in you. Are you a tool to be used or an ally? It can be hard to tell. I want to show you something. Sol squeezes your shoulder, turning you to face the lift. He leads you along the axis of the ship, towards the engines, the clanking of his suit accompanied by the constant hammering and welding that fills the echoey bulkheads of the Pilgrim Seat at all hours. That sucks to sleep through. With the cordon lifted and shuttles able to go out to salvage scrap and barter for supplies, the ship has become a place of transformation. I can give you supplies and money. Dude, I am rich. Not just in money and stabilizer, but scrap as well. And I can just buy scrap. This stuff is nothing to me. The ship has become a place of transformation, moving towards some state yet to be revealed to you. Sorry, I took state as like a united state. You look at Soul. What's his plan here? What is he preparing the Pilgrim Seed for? Or are his sharp eyes simply focused on making it through the next cycle? Suddenly, Soul stops in front of a huge bulkhead door, like the seal in the front of a dry dock hangar. He signals to someone in a cabin high up attached to the wall, and they begin the process of opening it up. The Pilgrim Seed was built as a short-range freight carrier, you know. The amber warning lights on the bulkhead door send spinning shadows across Soul's face. We built it to ship the entire harvest from thousands of farms to the silos at Paso Road. When we realized we need to leave, it was the biggest ship we could muster. Soul raps on a metal plate, and somehow she's carried us all the way out here. What? We? I don't know. I don't care about either of those questions. Farmers mostly, from outside the city, and the edges. That's bad. He flexes his shoulder beneath his suit. We saw it coming first, I guess. Knew it was time. Others didn't want to believe. I was a farmer, had a whole load of land and people to run it. Got that all. His voice sucks to do. But I have to do it. I have to stay consistent. And my people helped convert this place for the long trip. He looks at his feet. Others led, organized the evacuation, debated the plan. I'll stay silent. Not one of those folks made it. Damn. Soul rubs his forehead. We were out in the black a long time before we got here, Sleeper. Things happen. The upshot is I was chosen to take over. Guess my crew trusted me. And I knew the ship. I argued, reminded them I'm no leader, and that I'm sick, but well, when service chooses you. Loud klaxon sounds indicating that the bulkhead doors are ready to be opened. They groan as they slide back, the metal squeals echoing through the vast ship, bouncing off its hard-plated walls. At first, all I see is darkness, and a blur in my camera, god damn it. Come on. I needed to stop doing that. How do I... Did it stop? Okay, I think it stopped. Ah! Ah! The space in front of you... What? At first all you see is darkness, then the lights go on, and huge strips that stretch back and back as far as you can see. Space in front of you, a vast bay, bigger than any you've ever seen, is empty. When we left Earth, we didn't have the time or resources to convert the entire ship. Soul begins leading you into the massive space. So much of the fright space we sealed away, shut down. But now, we have time. We have resources. We're stabilized here, at least for the moment. Soul turns to you. Now is the time we make use of all this. What are you planning? What do you think happens next for the Eye, Sleeper? Soul sighs. Flux has already hit one part of the station. For what I know, it'll hit again. On Earth, we lost everything. There isn't much time, Sleeper. But there is enough time to do something. Think of the number of people we can fit on here. The farming stacks, the housing. Hell, we can plant some of those mushrooms you love so much. What the hell? Stay off my mushrooms, man. They're mushrooms. This is the way forward. The only way. We need to fill this ship with able bodies and head for the starboard belt. I thought the Eye was your destination. It was, until the flux hit here. Now it's just another stop. I'm glad of the chance to resupply and salvage, but we need to go further out. I want you to help me. You know the Eye, you have connections, and you can work hard. And I've seen it. You have? Soul meets your Eye. I know you're like me, Sleeper. You didn't choose service, but it chose you. Can this work? It has to, Sleeper. There's nothing else. Why does my camera do that? Like it's... Hold on. Like this is making me mad. Okay, so like that, like this, I'm very unfocused. But like this, I'm way more focused. Okay. Hopefully now it should stop unfocusing forever. I know it's a lot to think about, Sleeper. Trust me. Soul begins to lead you back out of the bay. But think of what we can do here. The Flotilla can't last forever. We need more than just farmers to make this work. We need to build a new world for ourselves. I've heard that out there in the belt there are people who've been setting up since the collapse, making something of their own. It's our future, tucked away in those rocks, far from all this. Soul sighs. I didn't bring my people here, just let them die somewhere new. Oh my god. Soul crosses back over the threshold of the bay and signals for the operator to close it up. The door groans and Soul waits for it to stop. Think about it, Sleeper. Soul claps an arm on your back. Don't wait too long. This is happening soon. And he leaves you there. In the silence of this vast bay, your head spinning with the thought of leaving the eye. An upgrade point. Oh my god, we get to upgrade one of these. Probably into it. Yes. This rocks. Okay. Now let's find those flux nodes. They're all over here. Hold on. No, it's a Yadigan agent. Here we go, flux node. Give. Okay. We can get more tomorrow. I'll feed this. Oh, it's been a while since I've fed the stray. Alright, end cycle, yep. Alright, these dice are not the best, but whatever, I guess. Where's the other flux node? Where is it? Oh, flux node, here we go. Nice. Damn it. This is really unfortunate for me. Well, guess I'll just work. Hey, been a while since I've been here, I know. But, oh, you know how I am. When I have nothing to do, you know I gotta work. Yeah. Oh, rats. Positive, please. Damn it. Whatever, I'll just buy some food from Memphis. From Memphis. Ah. Did I make that joke before? I feel like I might have. Not what I want to click on. Repaired unit. I'll feed the cat again. And then end cycle. I just need the flux nodes. Like, I need good dice. Give me good dice. That'll do. Okay. Where was it? It was... No, I did that one. There's another one I have to do. Oh, it's probably up here, right? Probably. Yep. Thank you. Alright, well I got all that. We'll take the descender car. We'll see what's going on today. I assume the last thing I have to do is give these to Peak. Probably in the episode then. Yeah. Alright, Peak, I got the flux data. Let's talk. You watch as Peak works on the flux data, the nodes unfolding like flowers now, giving in to Peak's increasingly sophisticated decoding protocols. Seeing data like this as an image on a screen is an almost unrecognizable representation to you. It's nothing like swimming among nodes and threads. Despite this, Peak has proven themselves to be more than able to handle these complex data structures, even through this limited representational paradigm. The bay door hisses, interrupting your flow of thoughts. You turn to see Esh entering. I don't understand why these are, like, big options. Esh, what's up? What's going on? She looks up and meets your eye, but does not respond. She stalks into the bay, head down. She looks tired and not in a mood to talk. How's the weapon hunt? Peak asked without turning from their screen. Slow, unsuccessful, tedious. Esh slams a bag down on a crate and hops up to sit on it. You still unpicking balls of yarn? With the sleeper's help, Peak smiles. They brought me some good stuff this cycle. Maybe they could help you find the weapons you were smuggling? It's clear that Esh doesn't appreciate Peek's tone. Don't Havenage have them? Yep, Esh replies, at least until I find where they're keeping them. Esh, Peek cuts in without looking away from the console. That's not a good idea. This is my mistake, Peek, and I'll fix it how I want. Esh folds her arms. Havenage just lost the cordon. Equipping them with weapons is not something I want to have been responsible for. Sorry, that was awful. Peek holds up a hand. Shh! They lean in towards the screen. Son of a... What? They hid it in the wake of the wave. Peek is whispering to themselves. It's alive! It's not how they would have said that. They lean back in their chair. Esh crosses over to look at the screen. Alive? Well, it's growing, it's processing. It's quietly working away in the dark. Look! You cross over to the screen and stand beside Esh. And you can see that Peek has all 4 nodes decoded, and the pattern of shadows from inside them sit on the screen like dark stains. Then you notice it, the movement. The thin threads cross from one stain to another. As you watch, you notice that the movement only ever happens in your peripheral vision, as if this thing, this shadow, knows it's being watched. This is how the other flux nodes appeared. Peek rubs their eyes. They weren't fluxed by the wave, they were corrupted after the fact. This thing, this shadow that entered in the wake of the wave, it corrupted them, but it made the corruption look like the result of the flux. It's a sleight of hand. Peek runs a hand through their hair. The flux wave is so massive, so complex that it opens up the systems to be attacked. As it reconfigures exposed systems, the shadow is broadcast in and planted inside. The wave from the can channel is a brute force way of hitting every system in Helion. Once the systems are vulnerable, Peek looks pale, their eyes reflect the screens. The flux isn't what's attacking the systems, it's the siege weapon, a Trojan horse. Then this thing takes over. Peek sits back in their chair. And it's already on the eye. Wait. Esh rubs her forehead. You're telling me there's a can channel in this system? Crap. Peek isn't listening. This is bad. We have to take this to someone. Peek looks desperately at you. I'm not saying Helene. I'm not gonna deal with, like, the yelling and screaming that's gonna assume from Ash. Probably Soul. They won't get mad at Soul. Right, the refugees need to know. Ash cuts in. Maybe they can protect themselves against it, lead an evacuation. An evacuation? Are you insane, Ash? Peek is desperate. Havenage are the station administrators. They need to know. The argument rages between them, and as you watch them shouting, you feel sick. Yeah. After a while, they stop, running out of things to say. An unsettling silence descends on the bay. I need more time, Peek says quietly. I need to look at solutions, try to build a case, collate the evidence. We messed this up. They look down at their hands. Ash goes to speak and then thinks better of it. Not a word, Sleeper. Peek meets your eye. Don't tell anyone until they're ready. They sigh. With the tension among the refugees, Soul won't be ready to hear this, and Helene and Havenage are still mired in some kind of crisis. We tell Havenage they're likely to react badly, and even with the flotilla stabilized, Soul is also not going to react well to this. I need time to build a case. You're too twisted up in this, Peek. Ash says quietly. This is not our place. We don't... Oh. Stop, Ash. Peek slumps in their chair. Stop. You leave them like that, exhausted and troubled, and head back out into the pilgrim seat. Bye. When you close your When you close your shadows, what? When you close your eyes, you think of those shadows, that movement at the edge of your vision. Something dark, growing in the station like a parasite. You feel sick, your vision blurs. What comes next? You stop in a corridor and take a breath, putting a hand on a rumbling metal wall. For now, the eye keeps spinning. For now. And in 2 cycles, we're going to be back on doing more stuff. Right? Is it 2 or 4? It's 2. Alright. Once you send the data, episode Purge and the final series of events of the Eye will begin. After this point, you will not be able to return to complete other drives or find other endings. Make sure you're ready. Ah, shoot! This is another ending, isn't it? God damn it. I can't return. It's saying I can't return. That is... Okay. Next episode is going to be a lot of endings and a lot of reading. Jesus, I need to use all these. God damn it. Or I don't need to, but I really should. Okay, let's... Screw it. I'm just putting it all into this. But no, I won't do that. That's stupid. I'll put some of it into this. Oh my god. And I'll scavenge, I don't care. Oh my god. I don't even know where to rest. I didn't know there was another ending. God damn it. End cycle. Ugh. We're prioritizing... I don't know what we're prioritizing. We're gonna find out. Next episode, we're finding out. We're gonna find stuff. I mean, I don't think they would just, like, close off a save file. I don't think they would. I don't think they would. Ugh. We're gonna try and get... like, I guess 3 endings next time? Jesus. Whatever. Whatever. Who cares? I'm the one you frog. Thanks for watching.